So we're going to cook these beans and lentils, and we're putting 2 vegetable soup bases. I use Knorr. You can use something from the health food store. And this is the base of it. Sometimes I end up putting 3 in there. But I'm going to put a little Bragg's amino acid because you need amino acids, and the beans have them. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of amino acids in there. 2 tablespoons, round tablespoons. Okay, stir that around. And we're going to put crushed onion. And these are sweet onions.
How many?
1 whole sweet onion. And if you have a Vidalia onion in Washington or a Maui onion in Hawaii, I recommend those. Okay, or Walla Walla onions. Find a sweet onion and put it in. Chop it up really fine. I use my little chopper. And then you're going to, with the lid on, well, you're going to work on the garlic. And this garlic we're going to do has more than one use. We're going to take all these little garlics and we're going to peel them. And we're going to pour extra light olive oil in this jar. And we're going to add Himalayan salt, which is what I use, to this olive oil. And Himalayan salt is a preservative. But this is a good salt. It has minerals in it for you. We want to feed your body nutrients. Okay, that should be enough. And we're going to take the garlic and peel it. Give it back. Throw away the skins, or whatever you want to call them. More like paper, to be honest with you. And you're going to chop the garlic up fine, or you can do another jar and have the garlic whole. And you're going to keep it in this jar for all your wonderful recipes that require garlic. Now, I have an Italian friend that loves garlic, and so does his wife. And she's a mongrel like me, so not pure Italian. But anyway, everybody loves garlic. Some people are allergic to it because they took those garlic pills in the 70s. But just cleanse your colon, and then you'll be able to go back and eat garlic. Use psyllium seeds and vitamin C and cleanse your colon. Okay, put some more in there. Now I have done the recipe with the Ortega peppers using garlic oil. You can also use it for sauteing veggie meat and pasta, any soups. So I'm going to cut this, and this came from the health food store. So you want organic. Every time you buy, you want organic. And whatever you do, never ever buy celery unless it's organic, because the spray goes all the way to the heart of the celery. And we're going to put celery in these beans and carrots, all kinds of good stuff. We're going to let it cook with the garlic and the onions and the soup base and the Bragg's amino acids. And when we do that, it'll permeate flavors. It'll come in with the beans and the lentils will take up these flavors. You know, you can make garlic bread with this. Drizzle this on with chunks of garlic. Or when you make homemade pizza. Most of you out there are lactose intolerant and wheat intolerant. So when you make homemade pizza, make sure you go to the health food store and get gluten-free crust dough to make your pizza, so you won't get a headache and you won't get a stomach ache. My doctor takes these tests and finds out what you're allergic to, and he said I was gluten intolerant, which I knew. I haven't been on wheat. They don't store the wheat correctly now, so it gets mold on it and it causes illness. That's why we have a lot of allergies with kids today. And everybody's lactose intolerant, whether they know it or not. And that's what the flu or the cold is. It's dumping lactose, dumping meat, dumping dairy. So, as we're doing this, you'll get a little education. What I'm going to do is put some vegetables in there, and I'm going to let them cook down. And then when it's finished, just before it's finished, maybe 5 or 10 minutes beforehand, I'm going to put some fresh vegetables in it so they are not too cooked. So they'll still have the nutrients in it. So you'll have the flavor and you'll have the nutrients. Now the beans and the lentils, they were dried out, so we revived them. I soaked them overnight in salt water, Himalayan salt. And strangely enough, I just put a little bit in there and it grew. So I took out a whole bunch, put it in a plastic bag and put it in the freezer. So the next time I decide to do a nut loaf, I'll include these lentils and beans, mix it in with vegetarian ground round and some nuts ground up and make a loaf like you would a hamburger loaf, only this one's going to be nutritional. So when it gets a little colder, and it's cold outside and there's snow on the ground, I will do that loaf.
Can you make like a patties out of it?
Yeah, you could make a patty if you wanted to.
Like a veggie bean?
Yeah. You have to use, some, I would say either arrowroot or gravy or something to make it bind. It's easier when you bake it in a loaf. But yeah, you could. So these are going to be homemade patties, homemade loaves. But in the meantime, they're in the freezer. So when I make that dish, you'll remember what I said about this. Now, that's a good amount of garlic, but I'm going to put one more large one in there.
And how long will it take to be, have that garlic flavor?
Oh, it's got it now. I can smell it. Can you smell it? Can you smell it? Behind the counter? Camera, I should say, not the counter. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to preserve it. And we're going to do pasta in this series. And sauteed veggie meat. So I'm going to use this with all of those recipes. Now, this is a nice one. Whoops. Out of there. I'm going to put this on the lid on and shake it up a little bit with the salt. It's totally mixed with the salt. Okay.
So that's garlic, olive oil, and salt, and that's it?
That's it. All organic. Well, not the olive oil, but the garlic is. And the salt is the best you can buy. I buy mine at Swanson's because they have good products and they're more reasonable. But you can get it at the health food store also. And if you don't have a health food store, then call Swanson's and order it from Swanson's. Okay. So, I'm going to take a large spoon. Oh, I have one out. No, I better take a clean one. And I'm going to put some of this in there. In the meantime, a little bit of oil. Okay, and stir it around. Now we're going to let this cook for 4 hours. So we'll come back later this evening and share what it looks like, and you're going to watch me put all the fresh vegetables in just before it's finished cooking. So when you serve this to your family, you're going to be giving them fresh carrots, fresh celery, fresh peppers, anything that you want to put in there yourself, cabbage, anything, they'll have those veggies on top. It'll be just barely cooked, and your family will get the nutrients that they deserve and they need. You want to give your family raw food every meal. You know, in the morning you want to do fruit, in the afternoon veggies, and if you don't do a salad, do chopped up cucumbers, chopped up tomatoes, chopped up bell peppers, jicama, looks like jicama. Jicama is good for the blood sugar. Radishes is good for the blood sugar. Use all these veggies and alternate. Buy some of the Chinese cabbages and the Chinese snow peas and stuff that you normally don't cook with, unless you're Chinese, maybe you do. Anyway, alternate the veggies you're going to put in this so you don't build up allergies. I drank too much carrot juice every morning at the health food store, and I had this gorgeous skin. People would come up and say, "What kind of makeup do you have on?" I had no makeup on. It was the carrot juice. I didn't turn orange because I didn't do it that much, but then I developed an allergy to carrots. So you have to be careful you don't OD or overdose on any one food. And when you're craving something, that means it's toxic in your colon. So when you, like, if you start craving pizza, you got toxic pizza in your colon. So what you do is you get out the psyllium seeds, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I put my psyllium seeds in this clean pickle jar, and you just take a teaspoon every morning in your emergency or your juice, and do it on a regular basis, and the next thing you know, you cleaned out your colon. And I think, I can't remember his last name. His last name was Gray, I don't remember his first name, but he wrote a whole article on healing your body from the colon. And if you get all the toxins out of your colon, you'll stop craving bad foods, sugars and whatnot, and you'll start feeling light, and you're going to drop weight also, help you drop weight. So buy yourself some psyllium seeds at the health food store. It's in a little bag, not more than $6 or $7. And then make it a habit of doing it in the morning when you're taking your vitamins. Take the psyllium seeds with it. I just do a teaspoon, and it works magic. So until we finish tonight and we add the veggies, we're going to sign off right now and let this cook, and we'll be back in a few. If you're a light worker, you're sensitive to loud noises, you don't fit your family, you hate to wear tight shoes, you love soft music, you don't understand anger and hatred and violence, you're very uncomfortable in negative energy and loud noises. You have this idea that you're here on a mission for God or a mission to do something. You know you came with a purpose. You know, some of you are not quite sure what it is. A lot of you think it's to become famous as an actor or a musician or singer or whatever. I tried that one on for about 20 years until I realized I'm now doing God's work. But all of you light workers out there, you have to eat well, because you're more sensitive to carcinogens than a non-light worker. Your body just doesn't feel well unless you have life force foods. So that's why we're going to add, when this is cooked, chopped vegetables, so it'll just barely be warm. So you can crunch them like you're having a salad with your beans and your lentils and your split peas here. So we'll be back and finish this off in a few hours. So we're closing off now for this moment until these beans finish. Okay, what we're going to do now, it's been cooking a little while, we're going to add sliced carrots and sliced cabbage. I've already put sliced. Hi, welcome back. And we started yesterday with beans, and we put some vegetables inside, which marinated with the beans. So the beans almost taste like a stew because there was carrots, onions, and cabbage in there. Today we're going to put fresh vegetables. We're going to start with garlic. Put that in there, chunks of garlic.
About how many more cloves?
That's about 4 cloves. You can put as much garlic in there as you want because it's so good for you. And if you love garlic, you can go up to 10. And onions, sweet onions. These are all organic. Stir it in. Organic tomatoes chopped up, 2 tomatoes, 1 onion, and celery. Now, you can put any vegetable in at the last minute. Take your children's and your husband and your wife's favorite vegetable, chop them up, and at the last minute put it in there. And just let it steep for about 10 minutes. And then you have life force foods with your cooked food. And you want as many life force foods that you can eat. So this is what it looks like when you have cooked it for a while and you put the fresh vegetables in it. And you can sprinkle, put this in a bowl, make sure it's warm, heat it up, and sprinkle some veggie cheese over it. And enjoy the life force foods in your foods. God bless.